So how do you remove a lien from a vehicle title? A lien on a vehicle title is not the same thing as a loan for a car. A loan on a car is the debt, the payments you make, the amount that you borrow. For example, if you borrow $20,000 to buy a car, that's a loan on a car. If your payments are $400 a month, those are the loan payments. That's not the same as the lien on the car title. Those two things can exist separately. You could have a loan for a car, but not have a lien on a title, and vice versa. There are many times when there's a lien against a car title, but there's no loan. For example, if you pay off your car loan, the loan is now zero, there is no loan, but sometimes the lien holder, the bank, doesn't remove that lien from your title, which they should. So you could still have a lien. The two can operate separately. So what does that mean for you? If you want to take the title, make it clear, and take the lien off the title record, there's ways to do that even if you still have the loan. How does that work? Well, if a title, which is a vehicle legal document, looks something like this, you've probably seen it, right? There's a section right here where it says lien holder. If that title certificate has a lien holder on it, that means that that lien record is recorded with the official agency that does titles in your state. Most states, that agency is called Department of Motor Vehicles or Department of Transportation. It has some official name. They have all the records of titles, who owns it, who has loans on it, who has liens on it. And if you have a lien on your title record, your title is blocked. You can't sell it. You can't get a duplicate. Sometimes you can't even get one because the lien is blocking it. So how do you get it removed? Well, the DMV or the title agency is not going to remove it just on your say-so. They're not going to remove it if you have a text message. They're not going to remove it if you tell them it's paid for. You have to get something official. Now, it's not as hard as it seems, right? Getting that lien release is what it's called, a lien release, can be done even if you have money owed on the vehicle. Now, if you've paid off your vehicle, you can get it removed too, but it's the same process, and it's not really any harder to do if you have a loan on it. If you have paid off your loan, you ask the lien holder to give you a lien release. But if you just call them up and say, hey, Chrysler Financial, XYZ Bank, whatever it is, take my lien off my car. The person on the other end of the line might say, okay, I'll do that, and they're never going to do it. Or they might say, no, we're not going to do it. Because they actually have to do a lot of work to make that happen. They have to find the official form. There's an official government DMV lien release form. They have to find it. They have to fill it out. Name, address, VIN number. They have to sign it, and they have to mail it to you. That's a lot of work. There's nobody at the lien holder that has that for a job. Somebody else doing another job has to do it. So what we recommend doing is, if you're going to ask for a lien release, do the work for them. And if you do that, this will also work even if you have money owed on it. 30-40% of the time, people still have money owed, and they ask for a lien release. Sometimes more. What happens is, when the clerk or receptionist or administrator, whoever gets that package that you mail them with a lien release already filled out, with your name, your address, your VIN number, they're going to look it up in the system, and if your loan is not current, if it's a delinquent loan or a charge-off or a write-off, they're going to say, oh, this is not a current loan. This is a charge-off or write-off. That administrative person may just sign it and mail it back to you. To make it easier for them, put a return envelope. So they don't have to do any work. They don't have to go to the mail room. They don't have to do anything. We have people all the time, clients, that send a package. You have to send it the right way. You can't just call them up or ask them, or you might say, I already asked them for it. They said no. Did you ask them by phone? Forget it. That means nothing. Did you ask them by text message? Yes. Forget it. That means nothing. Did you ask them by email even? You will be back in your video in just a few seconds. In the meantime, remember that actualhuman.com offers you live one-on-one private video consultation with an expert in this exact subject. We want to listen to your story. We want to hear your questions. We want to give you expert advisement of your options and tell you what we know about your particular situation. Now back to your video. Yeah, you ask them by email. Forget it. That doesn't mean anything. If you print it on paper, send it by mail in an envelope with a return envelope, that's the only way you even have a chance. And you might say, well, that's too much work. I'm not gonna bother. Then don't bother. Then you won't get a title. At least try it. It doesn't hurt, right? It doesn't cost you anything. If you do it yourself, it's free. So we do it. The other thing that you want to do is mail it to more than one place. You don't want to mail it just to one location. Look up 4 or 5 different locations for that lien holder and send the same thing to all of them. Well, it's too much work. It's more paperwork. Yeah, but that's how you get a title. Now, you don't want to do anything that's fraud, right? You don't want to misrepresent things. You're just asking for a lien release. Many banks are of the opinion that if they did a write-off or a charge-off, then it's not appropriate for them to keep the lien on the title. They can still chase the debt if they want, but to keep the lien on the title for something that they're not allowed to call an asset, there are some corporate counsel, legal representatives for banks that have said, we can't do this. It's not right for us to keep the lien on the title if we already charged it off. And that's up to the bank to decide that, but many of them have said that's not how we want to do things. And even then, it may be the decision of the person who gets it in the mail on their desk, that receptionist, that just says it's a charge off, I'm signing it. So if you want to remove a lien from a title record, regardless if you owe money, don't owe money, it's a charge off, a write off, or it's a payoff, you paid it off, the only way to even try to do it, think about doing it, is in writing. Print the documents, get the official lien release form from your jurisdiction, put a letter, please sign this, send it back. Also include in that package, make sure you do this, an alternate document called a letter of non-interest. Because sometimes a lien holder, a bank, will say, well, it's a charge off. We can't say it's a lien release because they're afraid that's releasing the loan. It's releasing the debt. And they may not want to do that. They may still want to try to come after you for the money and collect the money from you. But they don't really care about the car. They don't care about the title. They just care about the loan. Remember, loan, lien, 2 different things. Remember, we talked about that. So if you give them an alternative, you give them a way out by giving them a letter of non-interest. It basically says we don't have interest in the vehicle. Many times they'll sign that when they won't sign a lien release. And that gives them an out. Because lien release might make them think, well, I'm releasing the loan and we don't want to do that. Send them a letter of non-interest along with the lien release. That's more commonly the thing you'll get back. Now, what happens if they don't sign it? Well, now you have another option. If you send it to them, give them a week or 2, 14, 15 business days. If they don't send it back, now what you do is you take the same package and you submit it to the court in the county where you reside. And now you ask the court, the magistrate, to sign it releasing your lien based on the fact that the lien holder is not claiming their rights. Now remember, we're not attorneys, we're not giving you legal advice, but the backup method of getting your lien released is what's called a court order title, court order lien release. You file a petition with the court explaining to them, look, I want to get this lien off my car. I already contacted the lien holder. They refused to do it, and they're also refusing to stand by their lien. They're not backing up their lien, so I want you to sign it. Many times the magistrate, the clerk, or the court will say, yeah, this is a consumer rights issue, and they'll sign it. Remember, it's a legal question. We're not attorneys, but that's the backup method you have. And you might think, oh, it's too much work. I don't want to do that paperwork, but that's how you get your car, right? You can get more information from our website, cartitles.com. You can also arrange for a private consultation about your particular scenario using our consultation platform, Actual Human, and get live one-on-one consultation with me or a title agent about your particular scenario. We can look up vehicle information while you're on the call to see what might be able to be done, and that way you can get out from under the lien that's encumbering your title so you can sell your vehicle, trade it in, whatever you want to do. Thank you for watching another episode of Actual Human Advisory on Describe TV. Remember, we have live one-on-one consultation appointments available at actualhuman.com, where you can book a one-on-one undivided attention live call with a licensed investigator, a licensed insurance broker, a licensed mortgage broker, real estate broker. I'm also a certified real estate title examiner, a certified civil court mediator, along with having developed and started over 15 businesses, several of which were sold for millions of dollars. So if you do have questions in any of those categories, you can arrange a one-on-one live video consultation. Use the link below, and we'll see you on the next video.